joining us live from Seven Barrows is the great Nicky Henderson. Nicky, good afternoon to you from all of us at Sky Sports Racing. Hope you're well. Everything okay?
Yeah, great, thank you. Good afternoon to you all. Yep, no, we're nearly there.
We are nearly there, and goodness me, I think the whole racing community wishes you well for this week, Nicky, after a terrible Cheltenham. We won't dwell on that, obviously, but are the horses showing good signs now that they've come out of that?
I think we'd have to say we're happy. I mean, otherwise we probably wouldn't be travelling at all. But what goes there, rather like before Cheltenham, we were always testing everything before it ran anyway. And they kept telling us everything was fine. That's the only worry. It keeps telling us everything fine. The horses seem really well in themselves. Their last bits of work have all been done, and it has all gone well. They seem bright and perky, and everybody is around the place, and we're looking forward to it. We're going to know our fate pretty quickly. By Thursday night, it'll either be happening or it won't be happening. So it's, obviously we go there with a fair amount of trepidation, but things seem to have improved dramatically from the perspective of their work and everything at home, and I just hope it. We've hardly run anything yet, and that's nothing to do with not having the horses to run. We have literally got shed loads of horses to get on a racecourse. Now, the two reasons we're not having any runners, like Hereford today, I couldn't make an entry on that card. I really couldn't find a horse who was qualified to run in any race. And apart from the fact that the ground's desperate as well, we can't run them. So we start literally at Aintree, and actually got a couple of runners at Market Raising tomorrow. But we're going to start, the sort of, I might dare say the comeback. I don't know if it will be, but, we will be starting again as of Thursday.
Nicky, can I ask you something, just a final one, really, on the general situation? Obviously, you're a past master at getting these horses right. We all know your record's amazing. But it's part of your role as well to keep the human part of your team all nice and buoyant as well, because it must have been tough for them all as well. All your lads and lasses and admin staff, etc., etc.
Admin staff? They're laughing. We're all laughing. So everybody's been brilliant. And I mean, Cheltenham was a tough week for everybody because, they're the guys that were out there in the wet and the frost and the freezing cold at 6 o'clock in the morning, and in order to get these horses ready for Cheltenham. And, that's what makes it all worthwhile. If Cheltenham, or any meeting goes the right way, then all that, the drudgery in the middle of the winter was worth it. And having, everybody worked their socks off all the way through. We'd got the horses. We knew we got the ammunition. All we had to do was get them there. But we failed. I mean, I say we failed. I failed. I don't know. But they didn't get there, which was sad. And, it was a tough week, and then we just took it very easily for 10 days and tried to sort of, build ourselves up and start again. The last fortnight, I think, has been really good. Everybody's on board. I think the place is, they've been brilliant. I mean, the team here and the owners in particular have been fantastic about this. And I've got to say, and I mean the media as well, because it's been, we sort of worked out a different way of doing it, and I certainly appreciate the way they have helped us through it, and I hope that's why, for a lot of reasons, we have come out the other side.
Well, let's hope the media, people like me, are speaking to you after a few winners this week, Nicky. Can we talk about some of the high-profile ones? As you say, Thursday's going to be a big day. Sir Gino gets the ball rolling in the 4-year-old hurdle.
That's right, yeah. I mean, Ken, he was also... honestly couldn't find anything wrong with him by, the middle of Cheltenham. But we'd lost all confidence, if you like, and I just couldn't face running a young horse like him, who we made no bones about. We think he's seriously good. And I just couldn't risk him. Joe Donnelly was wonderful. We had to take Shishkin out, Shanagh Bob out, Sir Gino out, all of his. And, there was just no point in running them after the first 2 days. And, I trust in this fella, and, he is going to go out there carrying the Seven Barrows flag. And I'm sure everybody's going to watch him like a hawk. I hope for all the right reasons.
Yeah, absolutely. Is it fair to say, Nicky, you're expecting the ground to be a good deal softer than any of the ground he's encountered so far?
Well, except that he won at Auteuil. He had one start in France before he came to us. So he's been round Auteuil. And I think everybody knows that once you've been round there, and if you can handle that, you can handle most things. It was pretty soft in Cheltenham on trials day, I'm sure.
You're up against the Gold Cup runner-up, Jerry Colon, with Shishkin. Be great to see Shishkin back at Aintree, Nicky. How's he doing just at the moment?
Well, again, the last week seems to have been great. Nico rode him in his last piece of work last Saturday. Said he felt fantastic. He's looked really up for it all this week, sharp, and had a school on Tuesday. Again, Nico was very happy. I just think everything's gone right this way round, and he's had a funny old year. Everybody they even forgot about him when it came to he didn't start, then he threw away the King George. We won the Denman. But when I say he hasn't done much wrong, yeah, he did do something wrong at Ascot. I've got to put the blame on his shoulders there. But Kempton, that certainly wasn't his fault. So, whatever anybody's opinion of the result doesn't matter. He was still running a great race, whatever it was. And the Denman was more than an ideal preparation for the Gold Cup. But here we are in the same place, and hopefully all systems go.
Yeah. And on the same day, Nicky, the Aintree hurdle, you had 4 entries initially. You're running 2 of them, the mares Luccia and Mary's Rock.
Yeah, Luccia, well, she was the one bright light in Cheltenham. The champion hurdle had fallen apart as far as we were concerned, really, went out Constitution Hill. But Luccia was there, and, she ran a fantastic race. She was a very close third and not beaten that far. And, it sort of makes you wonder what if. Well, the world's full of what ifs, and we won't go into where Constitution Hill might have been, but he's safely in his box now, and that's all that matters. Luccia was brilliant. Now, the only thing we do here is we're going up half a mile. We thought about it over the years a lot, and always come down deciding she wouldn't stay. Now, but one day you've got to try it, especially as she gets a bit older. And if she did stay 2.5, then from next season's point of view, it gives me so many more options. So we're going to try it. The alternative was wait, punch down and walk straight into Lossiemouth. And I think of all the things I didn't want to take on would be Lossiemouth. So we're going to try her over 2.5. Marie's Rock comes in as well. Umdenard about the 3 mile and the 2.5 mile. I think in this sort of ground, 2.5 will be plenty for her.
Yeah.
So it's probably her optimum trip, but she did stay 3 in the 3 miler last year. So she's got stamina, and she goes in the soft ground. So it's a very tough race. You've got to, they're going to take a lot of beating, but in a funny way, it's cut up a little bit. We don't run First Street or wait for the Scottish Champion Hurdle, and Iberico Lord Nick. He's had a wonderful year. We're just quite keen to look after him for the time being.
Well, Nicky, look, I can
Bob Bollinger's the obvious horse in the race from our point of view. I think he's the problem boy, and plenty of others.